Pure Barre Austin offers an effective total body workout focused on low-impact, high-intensity movements that improve strength, agility, and flexibility for people of all levels. Pure Barre Austin has locations in Westlake and the Domain and is excited to announce a new location coming soon to East 6th. Check out at Pure Barre Austin East on Instagram and see the newest addition to Pure Barre Austin and take advantage of its founding membership pricing. Pure Barre Austin. Small movements, big results. At Pure Barre ATX. Hi, my name is Mindy Hofman, and welcome to the Women of Austin podcast, where together we are igniting the power of women's voices. Welcome to the Women of Austin podcast. Thank you for being here with us. Today, we're going to talk about balance. Thank you so much, you guys, for taking time out of your busy schedules and balancing it, if you will, so you can be here. I wanted to start with a little get to know you quick question. And I want to know, when you were little, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Hi, my name is Sarah Puil, and I am from Austin, Texas. I am the founder of BOXT. We are a direct-to-consumer winery, and we've been shipping wine since October 2020. What did I think I was going to be? I don't know. Maybe I thought I was going to be like my dad, and he's in the hotel business. So I think I thought that I was going to do something in hospitality or something like that. I didn't really have one of those things where I want to be an astronaut or like I didn't, or be a doctor or something like that. I just was kind of like, it'll all sort itself out. I wasn't so worried about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I don't think. I just like, getting shit done, actually.
Yes, love it, love it.
Hi, my name is Connie Shih. I live in Austin, Texas, but I'm from Maryland. I am the founder, owner, and CEO of Heralogie, and we make the most comfortable, effective, and sustainable period product in the world. Oh, I'm so honored and excited and grateful to be here. I think it's so cool that a bunch of women can get together and honor and empower each other. I mean, this is the purpose, why I started my company. So anything I can do to help and be a part of it, I'm really grateful. I think I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know. I mean, I thought that's what my parents wanted. I thought, I did okay in school, but then I realized I didn't like science and I didn't like blood.
Yes.
So I liked entrepreneurship or the idea of that much more. And so I pivoted to that more in college.
I'm Ashley Spence. I'm from Austin, Texas. I am the founder of the DNA Justice Project. The foundation's primary role is to educate the public and policymakers on the value of forensic DNA. It means a tremendous amount to be on the Women of Austin podcast today to talk about balance. I feel for myself and for most of the women that I do know, we expect to be able to balance everything perfectly. But really realizing that when you balance it, there's no perfect, and we are all just doing the best that we can. It's really refreshing, and it is a tremendous honor just to be here with so many incredible women in the city that I love so much.
I mean, honestly, I wanted to be a bus driver. I vividly remember a video when I was in elementary school, and I wanted to be a bus driver, and I think it was because my mom wouldn't let me ride the bus.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to get older and I'm going to drive that bus.
Hell yeah.
And your mom was like,
Yeah.
Here
Maybe
we are.
I should have let her get on that bus. Great. Well, let's get into balance. So I found this quote that I really loved, and I thought that it would be a great way to start. Imagine your life as a game in which you're juggling some 5 balls up in the air. You name them: work, family, health, friends, and spirit, and you're keeping all of these in the air. You will soon understand that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back, but the other 4 balls are made of glass, and if you drop one of those, they'll be scuffed, marked, nicked, damaged, or even shattered. They'll never be the same. You must understand that and strive for balance in your life. How do you guys feel about that? I think that I agree with some of it and not necessarily all of it, but I'm I'm glad that I have you guys all here to talk about it. And I thought that work, family, health, friends, and spirit, I thought that that was a good measure of what you can balance in your life. But let me know if I'm missing anything. Connie, you look like you have a thought.
Oh, I was just thinking, I was like, that's a very extreme quote. I was
Right?
like, made of glass? That's
Felt the same way.
Good, me
If you
too.
fall off the, workout wagon for a few months,
Right.
you're probably okay.
Yeah.
Or even a couple years, whatever.
Yes. Hey, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if the balls were made out of rubber or something non-breakable, maybe. But I do like the categories that make sense. The health, I didn't think of spirit, actually. I like the categories a lot. And I do, also agree that if you don't juggle them appropriately, then you let one fall and you can only do it for so long before, you have certain repercussions. So I've experienced that personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too with spirit, like self, because I know if I'm not taking care of myself, everything is out of balance, which makes it really hard when you're trying to balance so many balls in the air, as you say, to take care of yourself. But I think that's what, like, the number one place to start. That way you can balance everything else out. So self and spirit for sure.
I like that, and I like what Sarah said too. Though, like, it's if you don't do something for a few months, it's not gonna.
I just think it's more of like, if those are the categories, which they probably are the categories, you know what I mean? Maybe there's one there's like a sneaky miscellaneous that everyone has that's a little different, but I think of them more as like dials, Sometimes one's dialed all the way up and you're doing something, and one's dialed all the way down. And if you're going below the line, that's when it's like, okay, maybe you're drinking too much, and that's where it really impacts your health and bad things can happen, or whatever it is. But I think of them as dials versus balls, because I don't think you irreparably break everything in your life if these if one of the dials has to be all the way up and the other ones have to be all the way down. I mean, you got to know when you're dialing up, like, okay, I need to pay a little more attention to my husband right now and dial that one up, and something's got to get dialed down. There's only 100%. I always found it crazy, like all these kids with their AP courses, and they're like, oh, I have a, 7.9 GPA. I was like, it's a scale of 4. There's only 4.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't make sense.
That's amazing. The dials, I'd never thought about it that way. And I'm really glad that you guys had the same reaction to the quote that I did, because I always like to research on the topic and see what people are saying about it. And it was a lot of like, you need to have work-life balance or else, like, our money isn't everything. And it was a lot of like strong opinion. Like, I started feeling like guilty almost for, I was doing show prep and not paying attention to my daughter. Oh no, is someone going to come get me, right? But it's nice to hear you guys say that too. But for work, for example, as we're building and growing, we spend more time on that. But hopefully the goal is to be able to have the means and ability to relax and enjoy yourself, unless work is what you love, and then you get to just keep doing it for the rest of your life. Like, Ashley, you've been traveling a lot, so I wanted to talk about how you balance all of that, and I know you have your kids.
Right. Balancing is incredibly challenging, and I wish that there would be more women in particular, because I feel like we're held to these near impossible, especially I'm a mom of 2 young kids. I'm a single mom. Their dad is very active in their life, which I'm very, very grateful for. I have support of my mother, who helps with my kids, and my dad, who have been integral with that. But it is near impossible I never wake up one morning or go to sleep one night thinking, I have perfectly balanced this. I'm on the road a lot, and I'm tired. I have to leave my kids, but to me, communication to them, the work that I'm doing, what the purpose is for me, what it means beyond just me and bigger than that, I try to share with them as much as I can so that they know why I'm leaving them. When I'm gone, it's consuming. I come back tired, and then I feel bad because I'm not doing as many things right off the airplane that I should be with my kids. But in the same sense, when I'm with my kids, I take time, phone free. Here we are. Let's play. Even if it's playing games like Kerplunk, that little game where you put the marbles. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But just like engaging. So wherever you're at, just trying to be there and know that there is no perfect balance. We're just doing the best we can.
I also think balance is not comparable. Like, what balance looks like and your dials look like in your life and my life at any given moment are completely different. And I think it's really hard when you hear somebody, whether it's social media, and they're like, it's not about the money. And oftentimes the person that's saying that has the luxury of saying it's not about the money, to somebody who, in whatever their circumstance, they're struggling every single month to like pay the grocery bill in addition to keep a roof over their head. Frankly, right now for them, figuring out how to have more hours to work to put money in the bank so that they have that luxury is where they're probably needing to prioritize some of their dials so that they can move forward and find what the balance equation for them personally looks like. And I think that's the thing, is I think there's a lot of comparison going on in the world today.
I like that you mentioned that too, because it's true, and especially the social media part, because I fall victim to it. You see the like, oh, go outside, and I even have this quote from Dolly Parton: "Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." But you got to make a living to have your life. So I really like that you guys have this perspective too. I think that it's nice to be honest about it, not.
And I think too, as women, we're, at least in my experience, to be able to talk about money in that way, like working for, we shy away from the conversation, but it's okay to work really, really hard and to want to be compensated for that, in a fair way. I mean, but we don't talk about it enough, so it is nice to be able to kind of break that. I don't know if y'all have experienced that, but for me, it's always been tough. But it's like, why? We work very, very hard. Like we should be proud to earn our living.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm the one, some of the things I've done in my past that have been focused around helping people with money, that I find I'm asking my friends, somebody's like getting ready to have a baby. I'm like, so is your house in a trust? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Like all these things. And I'm like, but I think we need to normalize talking about, those types of things, because it also helps people prioritize like what matters, so that you can get a sense of security, so that you can open up time for yourself to do the things you want to do, whatever those things are.
At Amplify, we are getting rid of all banking fees, so you have a little extra to sprinkle around. No fees equals more sprinkles. Amplify.
The Smile Lab, Austin's premier luxury teeth whitening studio. Owned and operated by founder Victoria June, an expert in professional whitening services, tooth sensitivity, and dental health. Specializing in helping create a more confident you. Don't let your smile hold you back any longer. Visit the Smile Lab ATX in South Park Meadows and give yourself the gift of a great smile. You can find them on Instagram at the Smile Lab ATX. Hi, my name is Mindy Hofman, and I'm the founder of Women of Austin. I was really excited to talk about balance today because, especially as women, like, how do we balance it all? Life, work, relationships, just everything, really. It's a lot. So I was really excited to hear from these women today and figure out how they balance it all. Today we're shooting at Commodore Perry Estates, and it is so amazing here. It is so peaceful and serene. You don't even feel like you're in the city. It's just such a wonderful space, and I am so grateful that they're having us, and check it out. I know that they would love to have you too. Now, Connie, you had a career in financial planning, and I know that you were very successful, and then you decided to stop and create your own business. That must have been tough.
It was a whole identity shift, to be honest. And now we're talking about women and money. I had a lot of clients that the husband made the money and the wife didn't really know what was going on, and then the husband passed away and now she doesn't know what's going on. And so I worked really hard to kind of empower my female clients as well. And you guys share finances, but I think it's important to know what's going on in the basics. I think it is also a part of balance as well, like financial health and well-being. Anyway, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Big time.
Big time.
Beautifully. Where is that in the quote?
Yeah, that's the miscellaneous we couldn't put our finger on earlier.
And
It is.
It's so obvious when you say it.
Yeah, it's part of your health. It's part of the dashboard.
Because it's probably what keeps you up at night, right? It's like the stuff when you wake up in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Some of those are the ones where you're like,
Yeah, 100%. Especially once you start having children or staff, people relying on you. Right. It's like, Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, go on.
I
But
didn't
yes,
answer your
good.
question. I totally pivoted. but
No, but yes, we needed to say that.
Yeah, so I spent 6-ish years at a large investment firm. I was in wealth management. I was doing financial advising. I built my whole business by cold calling, like hundreds of thousands of dials each day. It was a little over 30 million, which I sold. A few years ago, I sold it because I've wanted to be an entrepreneur for a very long time. I felt like a lack of connection, and I felt that my values weren't in line with that of the firm. And so I wanted to do something that could really like empower people in a more relatable way. Originally, I wanted to get into tech, but I didn't have a background in tech. But I was like, I'm a woman, you know, I menstruate, and I grew up in a family that didn't talk about menstruation. It was super taboo.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to like empower other women and young girls and like help them learn to like love their bodies and take care of them. Menstrual health is a part of health, and how cool would it be to also help the planet at the same time? So having that like deeper mission and that value kind of alignment was really important to me, and I think the main reason why I pivoted so hard.
That's amazing, and I love that you took the risk and went for it and did it, and now you're helping people, and it's just completely different, and that's okay. You can make those changes, and I think we all have made big career changes, and now we're all in charge of what we're doing, and that's a lot, because I can be on my phone working all day, every second of every day, and I'm super guilty of it, but I'm also building something, and I'm really proud to be building what I'm building and available. And I look forward to the day when I can take a vacation, but I'm not ready. I'm not, I don't want
today.
to. Not today. But I mean, we were all on our phones working while we were, waiting to get set up. So it is what it is. But if you do what you love, it feels balanced to me. Sarah, what do you think? I mean, I know you have to travel a lot too now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm traveling a lot. Our winery is in Napa. Our headquarters is here, and that's just a function of us. This is where we started the business, and my husband was like, "What are you doing? You're starting a winery." Not like in a bad way. He was not telling me not to do it. But it was, we had just moved from San Francisco to Texas in the fall of 2019, and I didn't know what kind of business I was going to start when I was invited to be an entrepreneur in residence at our venture capital firm here in town. And so, when it was like, and I'm going to start a direct-to-consumer winery, Kevin was like, "We just left there. What are you doing?" But, I mean, it ends up working out. It's like, it's great because this is a great town to have a consumer product, and Napa's a great town to have our winery home base. So it ends up being the best of both worlds, and I get to go home frequently. So it's very helpful.
I love that. You just built it right in.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of snuck it right in that I can go back to Napa anytime I want.
I didn't realize you've only been here since 2019.
Yeah, we came in the fall of 2019.
Oh, well, then I would like to, I was already impressed, but the way that you've been supportive of the women in the community and all of like our events, and just thank you.
No, I mean, the thing is when you come somewhere new, I think it goes back to like balance and priorities and figuring out where you fit in. It was a priority for me after being in San Francisco for 22 years to figure out a network and meet people and feel like we belonged, which I think is really hard to do when you have a young kid and a business. And I didn't want all my friends to come through the preschool. I needed a couple for myself that had nothing to do with the kiddo. And so when you just throw yourself in, and it goes back to like, what are you picking? Like, what are the choices that you're making? And that was one of the choices that I think I subconsciously was making, and then very consciously started to make as it started to snowball. And I'm like, wow, I really like this.
Yeah. Well, it's much appreciated, and it's very noticeable. And I think that it's just great.
Oh, good.
Thank you. So we'll all be, actually our next event is going to be at...
Is it the
BOXT?
clubhouse?
Yes, at the
good.
clubhouse.
Fun.
So you guys have to come for happy hour.
We'll be there.
Lots of wine.
Yeah.
Endless wine.
Yes.
Endless wine. Not endless mimosas. We don't have bubbles, but endless wine.
Endless wine.
Bottomless wine.
Okay, so back to balancing and money. I want to talk about that a little bit more, because that really, I can't believe that we missed that, and I have you all here, and it's so important. do you, I know that personally I went through a divorce and he handled all the finances and money, and I just got in trouble when I would spend too much. That's what I knew about our bank account. And then once it was time for me to be in charge of my own situation, right? So I'm learning and growing, but I think that that financial health and learning about that, and it was, I am in charge of myself now. I'm in charge of my own destiny, but I've got to imagine it's got to be scary for some people, like it was for me. I don't think I'm alone there, but balance. And Ashley.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm divorced as well, and I think that's been a great learning for me. And now I have this determination. I'm in a wonderful relationship right now, but I want, no matter what, my goal, and I'm building right now, and I'm rebuilding because I have a career change, but no matter what, at the end of the day, I want to know that I want to go to sleep knowing that I can take care of myself and my children, and trying to, build a comfortable, healthy life for us. And it's been a learning for me, and it feels good, even though it's been scary and it's been very hard and it's been a shift. I don't want to steer anyone wrong. It's scary and it can be hard, especially if you're not used to being on your own financially. But it's possible, and it's all a learning. And at the end of the day, it feels good for me. Everyone's different, so it's not for everyone. But for me, it feels good.
I used to think that I would enjoy what I saw on TV, the girl, ladies who lunch. And then I remember I had my child, and I thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and I lasted a little over a year, and I was like, okay, I need to talk to some grown-ups, and I need to start working, and I need to find some purpose and balance again, because it was just all we would talk about were the kids, and I love my child, but
Stay-at-home moms, anyone listening, it's the hardest job in the world.
Totally agree.
The absolute hardest. They should get paid all of the money in the world. They deserve the most. I mean, truly, it is the hardest job. So I applaud, and I'm so inspired by people that are full-time parents.
Yes, and teachers, nannies, they sign up.
They sign up for it.
Yeah, and they don't get paid that well.
It's
right.
On the topic of balance and money, I think that one of the things that's I don't know. This maybe I'd love to hear everybody's opinion. It's just part of our cultural DNA. To create balance in money, part of it, even if you don't have a lot of money, it's the known versus the unknown. Knowing how you're spending it, knowing where it's going, versus kind of being I'm not opening the can of worms. You should open the can of worms, because it's so much better to figure out, to get where you want to go, and it's in anything if you know what you're dealing with. And money, we're so afraid, a lot of women. I mean, and I'm finally at the place where I do know. It's where does it all go? For some reason, it has been built into us to not ask and to not know, even if we're on our own. And that's doesn't necessarily mean you're married and he does the money. Even single women, not having an understanding of how you're spending it is maybe one of the things that will prevent you from creating balance, and also getting rid of that middle of the night panic.
Yeah, that's amazing, and thank you for saying that. And it makes me think what I need to do. Go.
I know. I'm
check in.
It'll make you sick the first time, but I'm telling you, it's a sickness you can overcome.
And you get so much better after. Yeah, that's why they call it financial health, right?
Yeah, it's that one time when you drink too much tequila, and you're I don't want to drink tequila for a while. Then you'll know. It's you already know what's going to happen, so then you're done. You know, right?
Well, I'm getting panicky right now, but what I'm realizing is I might be a little out of balance here, but that's the balance work, right? When we can be aware of where we're off balance, and we get back realigned.
Yeah, and you're just hold on, let me just do a little pie chart. Oh, okay, that slice of the pie's out of whack. Let me just rein it in a little.
Yeah. It's true. And it's also an uncomfortable conversation too. And I don't know why that is. I could have saved myself so much trouble in certain situations, where if I had just been okay, this is really what's going on. And I lived in Manhattan and tried to keep up with those friends for a little while, and I was why did I do it? And I could have just been no, I can't go to that dinner, nobody cares. But I was just embarrassed, and it seems silly now, but it's.
No, but everybody,
I feel I'm not alone.
Summer, I was always not jealous isn't the right word, but she was really good at that. she was really good at being like, I can't come to dinner, but I'll meet you after for 2 drinks here. And I just was like, the confidence to just like be open in our early 20s and just, I just found it to be really cool. And I looked to emulate her in that confidence.
And nobody cares. Like, that's what I found out too. They're like, yeah, meet us after. Or
literally nobody cares.
We'll keep it. Yeah. You deal with women and money, or you did a lot. And did you find that you would have those situations?
Yeah, I think money is emotional, and I think it's deeper than we think.
Yeah.
Culturally, I think it comes from family. I think it comes from like generational trauma and what you learn from your parents. I think it's a little deeper than that, and perhaps examining that, I don't know, with a therapist would be helpful. And yeah, I do find a lot of people are afraid to look, or like are afraid to even invest in my previous job, because that kind of risk reward thing. Like, if I give you this, then are you going to lose it? And I worked so hard for it. Why don't I just keep it all in cash? I'll be good. Which obviously is not going to work for the long term. But yeah, I don't know. This conversation is all about women being brave and like stepping into the unknown, whether it's starting a career change, starting a new business, or taking a deeper dive into your investments. I think it's all relevant, and it's all part of the same conversation.
The Nest is a new magical space open to kids and adults, created and run by 3 former public school teachers and located in West Austin. The Nest offers a variety of classes that range from pre-K sensory play, after-school enrichment classes, arts and academic, school holiday camps, and private parties and events. Check out their fall schedule and come create, explore, get messy, and connect with them. You can find the schedule at thenestatx.com or follow them on Instagram at thenestatx. Women of Austin would like to thank our community sponsors. Hot Works Austin Lakeline at Anderson Mill Road and FM 620. Torch those calories in a third of the time with their virtually instructed infrared sauna workouts. Open 24 hours at Hot Works Austin Lakeline. Dave's Ultimate Automotive. With 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you. Visit davesultimateautomotive.com and become a part of the Dave's family today. Magic Robot. Does your company use Salesforce? Get valuable hidden data that only Magic Robot can deliver. magicrobot.com. Elite Marquee and Events. High-quality LED marquee letters and more to help create an unforgettable celebration at Elite Marquee Austin. Well, I can't believe it, but we're out of time already. Thank you guys so much for being here. That was really informative, and I'm gonna have to watch this back a few times and make some notes, and then go have some hard conversations with myself, apparently. So I really appreciate it, and I just hope that you guys all will come back sometime, and I want to thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the Women of Austin podcast. A new episode premieres twice a month right here on the Women of Austin channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you never miss an episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at women_of_Austin. My name is Mindy Hofman. I hope you'll join us for our next episode of the Women of Austin podcast.